This sounds like a movie plot. 2 months before the US presidential elections are held, alleged Chinese spies have been caught in none other than offices of New York governors Kathy Hochul and Andrew Cuomo. Linda Sun, a former high-ranking aide, has been charged with acting as an illegal agent for the Chinese government. Sun, along with her husband Chris Hu, is accused of engaging in a web of activities to further Beijing's interest in the United States in exchange for millions of dollars in illicit benefits. Reports suggest that Linda Sun held different jobs during her 13-year work tenure in the New York state government. She was in charge of business development and Asian American affairs. But as per federal prosecutors, her real focus was doing the bidding for the Chinese government, including an important mission preventing officials from Taiwan from gaining access to the governor's office. She allegedly received funds for a lavish lifestyle that included a multi-million-dollar Manhasset mansion, a fleet of luxury cars, including a Ferrari, and amusingly, salted duck, which is a Chinese delicacy. Now, the couple's assets included a $2.1 million condo in Honolulu, a 2024 Range Rover, a 2022 Mercedes, and tens of thousands of dollars in various bank accounts. Her husband, Hu, has also been hit with a host of charges, including money laundering and bank fraud. Even though the couple has pled not guilty in court, the revelation clearly has raised concerns about a potential Chinese interference in the American elections and the expanding network of Chinese spies across the world. Take a look at this excerpt of my conversation with American journalist Ray Locker. This is nothing less than a movie plot, Ray. Two alleged Chinese spies being caught in the office of the New York governor. How is the U.S. really seeing it? I'm sure there's a lot of concern given the fact that it's coming ahead of the presidential elections.
Oh, it's always a concern when you have agents of a foreign government who have somehow managed to infiltrate government offices in the United States. And the accusations are pretty striking. I mean, the fact that they altered messages going to the governor to invite her and before her, Andrew Cuomo, to certain events with Taiwanese officials, and all of a sudden, the invitation disappears, and they find out that she is the conduit for that. That's something that anybody should be concerned about.
Ray, this also comes ahead of reports that suggest that the United States might be naming and focusing on Russia as far as interference in election is concerned. And this I'm saying as per a CNN report, which comes just hours before Attorney General Merrick Garland is due to make public remarks at the meeting of the Justice Department's Election Threats Task Force. So clearly, not just Russia, but now the United States has to look at a Chinese threat as well.
Sure. I mean, with social media, the lines of communications are wide open. You can penetrate the U.S. psyche with messages from China, Russia, Iran, you name it, by using, fake bots and other accounts on Twitter and other social media sites. And it's much harder to track. I mean, we saw that in 2016 with the Russian-funded advertisements that penetrated Facebook, spreading disinformation. So it's definitely something to be concerned about. I don't see that necessarily tied to this case. Clearly, the Chinese are working on a variety of fronts to gain information, and that's nothing new. But when, stuff like this happens, it's definitely of concern. Now, remember, this couple got fired, or she got fired in 2023 after they found a number of irregularities. And it's, rather stunning to me that people didn't pick up on this sooner. I mean, state government officials do not make that much money. Yeah. They probably get paid less in a year than it costs for a 2024 Ferrari, for example. So how did they accumulate enough money to buy a mansion in Long Island, or, all these different cars? I mean, anybody would see that on the face of it would go, what's up with that? And clearly somebody did notice a problem. We don't know exactly what the thing that tipped off authorities was, but there was obviously a problem that led to an extended investigation in this indictment.